So I says, yo, haha, it's all in the words.
So, back to the topic. Like I said, I never put complete blame on her or never put complete blame on me for us not raising my son together. Um,
How old's your son now?
I was 17 when I had him. I'm 50 right now. So what is that? 43?
Oh, okay.
Is that 43?
It could be. I don't know. You said
Yeah, that's 43. Cause you gotta
okay.
um um cross out the 5, make it a 4,
Yeah.
and 3 becomes a 13.
43. He's a grown man. So, have you ever met him?
Wait a minute, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 6. 46. Last time I seen him, he was about 4 months old.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Hmm.
I never felt bad because at that time I was religious, United Methodist, fearing God, the God that's in the Bible,
Yeah.
and the whole thing of God did this for a reason took out all the other emotions, and it became a teaching tool for anyone that would see it as a teaching tool. It's experience.
Hmm.
And I've met folks that called me a coward for not
Hmm.
chasing after them. They doubted my want and desire to be a father or to be a husband or you know anything any description that goes along with making that really work.
Hmm.
And it goes back to when I told her um, when we were having arguments, I respect her wishes,
Hmm.
and I will forever respect her wishes because she would throw those threats and those promises of conditions. If I don't do this, she will do that. And I would say, I respect your wishes.
Hmm.
She hated that.
What did she want you to do? She wanted you to have dialogue?
Yeah, argue.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've already told you that I wanted to be there. I wasn't lying. And the only way that I could show that I was being truthful is by doing it. I could
Right.
talk till I'm turning blue.
Right.
But it's going to be up to you to believe me or not. So, I respect your wishes.
So did she move?
Oh man, she moved out of her mom's place, and that was the only place that I knew to find her. And the next time I seen her was close to a year later. I was working at this job, and I I met a guy who was working in the same area with me. We worked in the kitchen at a ballpark, and we worked with each other for a few months, or a couple of months, or something like that. And we started talking about, our girlfriends and our fucking around and our fucking around shit, soiling our royal oats.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about his girl and described her and shit. I was like, man, she sounds pretty. He's like, man, she's gorgeous, blah, 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 blah. And I seen her sitting out there, and I ran in there to where he was. I was like, yo, you won't believe this, man, but my baby mama out there. He was like, for real?
Mm.
He was like, why don't you go holler at her? I'm like, man, cuz, and I told him the situation and things. And he was like, that's the girl you was talking about? I was like, yeah, that was my baby's mama. I was like, it's my only baby mama. He was like, let me go see her. And he went out there, he was like, yo, that's my lady.
Whoa. Whoa.
He was like, that's what I've been telling you about.
Oh my gosh.
And so, that was like sometime in the middle of the week. And we worked through that week. By that next week, over the weekend, she broke up with him.
Mm.
She didn't want to run into me, things like that, and she didn't want him talking about her and all kind of shit like that.
Oh boy.
So, she was making it very clear she didn't want anything to do with me, and didn't want me to have anything to do with my son. Once again, she saw that I was working, so that wasn't it. The next time I seen her after that, because I went to, I was working at Long John Silver's when we first met. Not when we first met, but when we was having our relationship. I had gotten expelled from school and all that, and I got the job, and we were still in a relationship. So here it is, sometime later, I went ahead and I applied at a different Long John Silver's.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, she was working there.
Whoa. Again.
The manager didn't want to hire me because of, with that stereotype between, I keep saying stereotype, but that thing that happens between baby mamas and baby daddies when they get
Yeah,
around
the
each other.
drama. The drama.
Right. And I told him, I'm like, man, I am so far from that. And without, telling her my business, I kind of gave him a brief explanation of an example of, of what type of guy I am. I'm like, man, I sacrificed my whole relationship with her, based on me respecting her wishes. That type of shit. And I was like, man, you don't even have to put us on the same shift. You don't have to put us on the same dates where we have to bump into each other, for a shift change. And I was like, besides, I told you, and I told him that I had already applied for Job Corps.
Uh-huh.
For
Mm-hmm.
Job Corps. So I might not even be that long. I just have to work because I
Right.
never know if that's going to work out for me or not. And I wanted to be a productive citizen.
Right.
So I got the job, and I think I seen her just once, and that's when she came to get her check. And I had been working there for maybe 2 or 3 weeks when she had seen me while she was coming up there to get her check. So everything had been working out. We had not bumped into each other. But I will say a week after that, She quit.
Wow.
Crazy thing is, a week after that, I had um no, a week after she quit, I got approved to go to Job Corps.
Oh wow.
So he was upset with me.
You didn't do anything.
Exactly. He was like, I lost 2 employees. I'm losing 2 employees in about a week
Oh well.
just because I hired you. And I'm like, because I
Not
told him,
you.
yeah, I told him, my whole thing with Job Corps. And I told him, what I'm saying? I'm like, I can understand if you don't want to hire me because I might not be staying long. I told him that from day one. And so the day that I went to go tell him about me being approved, I was like, I told you if I got approved, I would come and tell you. And I got approved. And he got pissed and got on that rant about, I'm like, you can't say if you had known, I was up front with you. I was like, don't get flustered because you got to fill your schedule and take it out on me. Shit. But, yeah, she left. And if she had just stuck it out, I would have been gone. And we had never, had interacted with each other. Because when I seen her pull up, I went to the back. I got off the line and went to the back.
Mm.
And she didn't come to the back. No, she did come to the back. At first, she was standing up in the front, and they was going to bring her check up there to the front. And she took her ass back to the back. And it's like saying she ran into me. Because she knew I was back there. She knew I was back there. And if she didn't, I mean, come on. She ran into me. You know what I'm saying? I purposely was staying out of her way. So it's shit like that, you know what I mean? That takes me back to the whole thing of fulfilling her wants, fulfilling what she needed. And that leads me to say that I'm glad that I was questioning things and trying to weatherproof situations. And yes, you're right. Out of fear of something happening that was gonna, that was going to realign, our destination, our where we were supposed to go with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Having a child, and I told her while we were going through our argument, I'm like, look, I don't want our child being raised up around two people that's arguing. I don't want.
So you think if you got together that it would just be all arguments? Is that what you thought?
No,
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
want to take that chance. That's why I was like, man, we gotta have these conversations so that way things could run a better chance of being smooth. I was like, if you don't know these things about me, then you'll be blindsided. But if you know things about me, then if something was to happen to, let's say things went good, but something happened to me, you could go to our child and be like, your dad was really like this, and really like that, and thought like this, thought like that. And be like, you got this from your dad because your dad thought like this, did things like this.
Right, right.
It's like I've talked to single moms and single dads, and I've talked to these people that had come across in my life that I picked these things up from. It's like, man, communication It's like going up to a couple that been together for 10 plus years, and you ask them, how did y'all do it? Come across a couple that been there for 20 some years, ask them, how did you do it?
Mm.
And it's like, of course they had to weather the storm,
Right.
but they also had to, enjoy the moment by being in the moment, for
Mm-hmm.
the good or bad. So I'm taking all these things that I've heard and seen and trying to apply it. What do they say? You tell somebody that you're trying to help. You can't tell nobody that you didn't notice because I'm trying to tell you now, or we're talking about it now. So you can't tell somebody that you didn't know this or you didn't know that, because you do know.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So getting back to the topic of what a woman wants and what a woman desires, I mean, for security.
Yeah, let me ask you, so what did you learn from that? What did you learn from those decisions that you made as a 17-year-old?
I struggled with the fact that I didn't want to settle for less, but religion stated that it didn't matter what I wanted because God was going to put me in a situation for His reasoning. So no matter how I thought and how I wanted things to go, it didn't matter because religion said that.
But what have you learned?
I learned
You
that
know,
no matter how I wanted the situation to go, it's going to take another person to agree to want to be to go in that direction with me. But I also learned that I have to be able to speak my mind, and I have to, let a person know to give them a chance to fight for their own preservation.
I have a feeling that you've never been lost for words.
Lost
I
for
have a
words.
feeling that you've always known how to express yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you sound like one of those deep thinkers. You're articulate.
I also
Um,
pick and choose who to talk to,
mhm,
and I picked and choose the levels that I was going to talk to them on.
mhm.
In,
But I'm just wondering, like, looking back 40 plus years, would you have done anything differently? Knowing what you know now.
no,
Okay. So you're pretty satisfied with your 17-year-old thinking and decisions.
yeah, only man, look, only way that I would go back and change things is if I had a time machine.
Of course, no. And of course, and all of us. I'm just wondering if you would have done. I think in my life, I was like, if I knew what I knew now, I would have handled that differently. If I knew what I knew now, I'm much wiser now. You can look at some things from all sides because you're older and wiser and have experienced more life.
I do that.
And, mm,
I do that. I do that from a fantasy point of view.
uh-huh.
Um, Only because if I had not made those choices, I would not have enjoyed the things that I did enjoy And I am afraid that if I did go back and make changes, then life could have been worse.
Mhm.
Life could have been better in so many other ways, but life could have also gone worse. And since the only thing that I do know that happened as a matter of fact,
Mhm.
and that was the life that I did leave, no optimistic, there's nothing I can, just guess. It's I know for a fact that these things happen instead of,
Mhm.
I guess, what's the hypothetically speaking, that type of thing.
Hmm.
Because, man, it would suck. Let's say, I married her,
Right.
and to stay on a positive level, I married her, stayed monogamous for 40 something years,
Mhm.
and um, and that's all I knew.
Would that be a bad thing?
I don't know.
Hmm. Well, knowing all that you know now, would that be a bad thing comparatively?
I don't know. I never got to know who she was, and that could have made me unhappy.
It could have. Yeah, you. Sounds like you make a lot of decisions on would haves and could haves and would have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, out of all the relationships that I tried to have, yes, I was overbearing when it came to wanting to have these conversations, the importance of it. The females that I was talking to did not want to think about this shit.
About.
They didn't want to go into deep thought about anything, really. A lot of them just, we just had our fun and went our way. And the ones that wanted to have a relationship with me told me that I was the reason why we wasn't going forward, because I was using the what ifs as a reason to put something between us.
Yeah, it sounds like you do that a lot because you're scared of something.
Yes, and it's a healthy fear.
No, it's not. Because it seems like it's a barrier.
Man, I don't want to hurt nobody,
No, no, no,
and I
no.
didn't want
Yeah,
to be
no.
hurt.
I I think that risk. You don't like taking risk.
Shit. You should see how many risks I took in life. Okay, now think about
Okay.
this. Out of all the females that I did talk to, there was 2 to 3 times as many women that I didn't have these talks with. I got a lot of bodies.
Okay.
I when I lost my virginity, I wanted to be the best lover I could be.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, but that also meant that I needed more than one person to be able to say that.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was your goal.
yeah. It
That's
wasn't. Let me put it like this: it wasn't a goal. It was just. It was the
funny.
idea of, if that's the way that it was going to be, then that's the way it was going to be. When I wanted to settle down, I wanted to settle down. I had no thoughts of having open relationships. When I wanted to settle down, and when I tried to settle down, I knew that I would be a one-woman man.
Mhm.
Monogamy. I knew that. I knew that I wouldn't have any desire to want to, go have sex with other women. I wanted to
Oh,
be
you
a
might have desire, but you would
no.
overcome it.
I didn't want any other desire. I felt like, man, if I made a choice, a sound decision, that I need to live with that sound decision.
Mm-hmm.
No regrets. You know, I need to be accountable for my shit. Just because I've talked to people, and you know, it's all on TV, it's all in music of, you know, of people wishing that other people will be accountable
Mm-hmm.
and be responsible and respect themselves and respect other people.
Right.
And of course, religion, fearing God, and or being afraid of a jealous God, and everything that that book was trying to teach people to be.
Give them prayer hands, say what's up America. Half of you should know me, right? Other half a replica. Shout out to my